Good evening, Grooveroonies. Hello. Hang on a sec. I've been playing with the lighting in here. It's really bad. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Shxtty Kxtty Kxtchen on this chilly, wintry eve in Tasmania. Been messing around with the lighting because I've got 3 individual lights that go across my bench, my island bench just over here. And then I've got 3 that are in the ceiling, like whatever those lights are, the ones up in the ceiling. And with these ones on, I get 3 rays of light. These 3, I just get this one here. Can hold it like a chup. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I am holding a neon golf club upside down. How's everyone doing? I caught up with my friend Scotty this afternoon. We had lots of birdie chats, and I had a few moments, and I know I look like that, but I don't care. The camera will be on there very shortly. But how's everyone doing? Hey, Francesca. Oh, you found this live. Congrats. Mel, g'day. Oh, thank you for welcoming everyone to the Shxtty Kxtty Kxtchen. Who else is here? Hi, Scout. Planet Sunshine put a comment about looking up the recipe. What I do with this, a lot of people cook yotamottolenghi stuff, so I just Google the recipe and choose the first blog and chuck it on as the link if people want to actually look at the recipe. Maybe the blogger used rose harissa. We're not using rose harissa tonight. It's Sunday night cooking. We're cheating. It's going to be basic and it's going to be delicious. Well, it's actually going to be a bit fiddly for a pasta, but we'll have fun making it. Grandma Ducky was here earlier. Hey, Rosalane, you're at Claremont. I'm in Dodge Vegas, Dodgers Ferry. Nice to have you here. Please, everybody, make Rose feel welcome. This is her first time here, and she's a Taswegian. So nice to have you here. Now, we're making 2 things tonight, too. We're making Yotam's crunchy Pappardelle, and this is the book we're cooking from, Plenty, by the fabulous yotamottolenghi. We're cooking the book, but not going through page by page because I realised he's done the sections in different types of veggies. So, like, there's a section on root vegetables, and then there's one on onions, and otherwise I'd be eating like the same kind of veggie every night. So I randomly opened it up, and it landed on this page, and I was like, oh, it's a cold Sunday night. I want to eat pasta. So that's it there. It's a crunchy Pappardelle. And, hey, Veruca, we are going to be, because Yotam does a lot of vegetarian, we are going to be chucking some bacon into this because I want some, and I had some in the fridge. So we're going to be throwing in a bit of bacon. You could throw in chicken or whatever meat you want. You could just leave it the way it is. It's a beautiful dish without any meats in there, but so the people in my chat, Mel, don't think I'm a heathen because think I'm a heathen because I don't throw any meat in my food. Tonight there'll be bacon. Thank you, Scout. Yep, hit that like button. Right, so we're making 2 things tonight. Oh, and by the way, my apron tonight, it's from 10 Lives Cat Centre where I got Biscuit and Sunny. So I thought I'd do a shameless little plug for them tonight and wear my 10 Lives apron. There's a little logo. They're the colours that inspired the mural of Biscuit in Argyle Street. So, yeah. Yeah, Mel's happy. There's bacon. Isn't it cute? And it's a crossover one. And I know it's wonky on one side. I didn't straighten it. I can feel one of them is not right. I can feel both of them aren't right. But, yeah, it's one of those cute little crossover ones. For anyone in Tasmania, like Rose, you could go to the 10 Lives, any of their op shops, or to 10 Lives itself, and you can purchase one of these aprons for about $30, and it all goes back to, it's like a fundraising thing. It's probably $10 for the apron, but you're chucking in a bit of extra money as a donation. And it's really cute. It's denim and it'll fade. And so, yeah, in honour of Biscuit and little Sunny, we're giving 10 Lives a little nod. It is a great apron. Thank you, Fran. So, should we get on with this? Oh, no, we've got to make our first thing. The crunchy Pappardelle, the pasta we're using, we're not making pasta tonight. I don't do that shit, especially on a Sunday. I've tried making pasta and it's fun, but you've got to have like the bench space and the pasta. I just can't be bothered. You can buy really lovely pastas made by people who know how to make pasta, you know, beautiful Italian brands. This is probably, let's see where it's made. Made in Italy. It is actually made in Italy, and it's imported to a business in Melbourne, in Hawthorne East. So this is actually Italian-made imported pasta. I love fresh pasta, but I couldn't get any. But this will do. This will be delicious. And even like the cheaper sort of, not that this was expensive. This was like $3, I think. Even the other sort of like the more commercial kind of brands of Pappardelle, I'm sure would be lovely too. But so we're cheating. That's what we're making. We're going to open the packet and say, look, we've made pasta. Also, the crunchy is, we're going to be toasting some panko breadcrumbs and mixing a few yummy things through it, and that's going to be the topping on top of the pasta. Now, Yotam does a lot of very healthy stuff. I normally just lashings of parmesan. So we're going to do this crunchy topping, but I'm also going to put parmy because I just can't not. But let's get on with making the first thing tonight. The first thing we're going to make tonight is a glass of wine. Because we're making pasta, it's Sunday night, why the hell not? You can't make pasta. I've only just been able to start drinking again, and a little bit of red wine. The other night, Tori got quite tipsy live on one glass of wine, but I'm enjoying a little bit of red. So cheers, everybody. Pour yourself a beverage. Let's get cooking. Oh, look at Scout. Scout is Sunny's biggest fan. She is always flogging. Lightweight? You bet I am. I'm a cheap date, not a lightweight. Okay, so let's make some pappardelle, guys. Excellent idea. See, Fran's up for it. So I worked out earlier. Look at this, guys. Look at this. This is professional. Look how professional we are. Can you all see everything? Oh, now I'm making shadows. I'm making shadows. Okay. I'm going to pop this light on too so you'll be able to see a bit of action over here. And yes, I do make my pasta sauce in a wok. Don't judge me. I'll explain why. Are we still making shadows? Oh, they're bolder. Look, shadow puppetry. Actually, fuck making pasta. Let's just get drunk. What do you reckon, guys? So, I do like to make my pasta in a wok. I have seasoned it with a bit of olive oil before. I will be chucking a little bit more in, but the reason I like, he says to use a saucepan. I don't believe in making a pasta sauce in a saucepan. You make it in a big frying pan. But I actually love making it in my wok. This wok is well travelled. I've cooked in it all over the place. It's beautifully seasoned. It gets warmed up really quickly, so the bacon's going to be super crunchy. And also, when the sauce, we're going to be reducing it, but the surface area of the wok and it reduces really quickly, so it's also quicker. And it's just sexy. So wok on. Yeah, let's get drunk, Francesca. Auntie Scout is definitely Sunny Girl's biggest fan. No, well, she loves you. She loves you. She's shitty with me because she want to play. She want to play in the kitchen. And I say, nay, I'm going live on the YouTubes. Cheers, everybody. Pour yourself a beverage, make a cuppa, whatever you want to do, and let's get on with making some pasta. So firstly, I'm ignoring him using a saucepan. Like I said, we're going for the wok. I'm just going to heat that up. I've already warmed up water in my saucepan for the pasta and also for the broccolini. Oh, yeah, so just so you know, we'll find out as we go, but it's basically going to be bacon, mushrooms, broccolini, cream, some herbs, all that good shit. Oh, wrong element. God, I've had 2 sips of wine and that's how we're starting. But if you want to have a bit of fun and make it a little bit sexier, chuck in some bacon. We've got this beautiful streaky bacon that we're going to use that I get from the fresh market down the road. If you're going to do bacon, chicken, anything like that, do it now. I'm going to go this way. I'm not going to be... What's happened to my scissors? They're my best thing ever. This plastic is strong. And we're going to be doing... Let's go 4 rinds. 4 rinds of bacon. I do like actually having this on. I'm sorry about the shadows. Can't do anything about that. I do like being set up on this side because my island bench is where I can have all the ingredients ready to go and what utensils I need and all that sort of stuff. Now, all you guys know that I love cooking with kitchen scissors. I use them as much as I can. They just make life so much easier. Oh, I need my little... I need my little scraps bowl. I didn't have a scraps bowl. Now I do. And dinner and a puppet show, you get it all. I'm just going to do like chunky bits, that sort of size. You could cut it up really finely if you wanted to do like a bacon crumb, but we're not on fucking MasterChef, so let's just add chunks of bacon, right? I'm not going to add any more oil to the pan at the moment because of the bacon. The fat will come out of the bacon as well, but I will possibly chuck in a bit more oil when the mushrooms join the party. But the first thing I want to do is just cook up this bacon and get it nice and crunchy. Some of the pieces are pretty chunky, so we're just going to cut them in half. But I love kitchen scissors. I love my knives too. I've got really good knives, but I love me scissors. Look how quick it is, see? So quick. And then you just chuck a piece in and it's already sizzling. So let's put the whole lot in. Now, you're going to be bewildered in a minute. Wait till you see what I'm about to do. Just break it up a bit if you've cut it in chunks, you know, pull the pieces apart. Stick it in your wok. I can hear Italians going, you do pasta sauce in a wok? Yeah, I do. Wok on. Wok the fuck on. Just wash my hands, they're a little bit greasy. Oh yeah, this was the fancy thing. Check this out. I love herb scissors. Hi Rustic Flamenco, welcome, and welcome to anyone else coming in. I do look at chat from time to time, but sometimes I miss people because we've got a very chatty little group here. But to answer your question, I'm a global knife girl. These are my knives. I'm into globals, so yeah. Everyone's got their knives, but for me, it's global all the way. Okay, check this out, guys. Look at this. Look at this. We're on the move. We're on the move. Action shot. Bacon sizzling in a wok. I'm not putting my camera like that. It'll ruin it. But look at that, guys. Okay, so you've all seen what bacon cooking looks like. Awesome. How easy to put it back up here. Not great. It's relying on me not being uncoordinated, which is a worry. All right, so on with our bacon. Now what we're going to do is cook it so it's nice and crispy. And while we're waiting for that to cook, the next thing we're going to do is chop up mushrooms. Beautiful little button mushrooms. Have I tried shun? Shun? No, I haven't, but I'm certainly not able to buy another set of ridiculously expensive knives. Shun, they sound good though, Rustic Flamenco. Tell me about them. So these little button mushrooms, I don't believe in washing mushrooms. I get paper towel and wipe as much of the fertilizer that they've grown in off them. But yeah, I don't wash them. I think washing mushrooms wrecks them. They're not a moist vegetable, so I'm not precious about it. Everything gets cooked in a pan. A little bit of dirt doesn't hurt you. Toughen up, people. But yeah, there's 250 grams of button mushrooms, and we're just going to slice them all in half. Oh, you think that's a knife? No, this is a knife. This is my big mofo, my chef's knife. That's a big one. I know, smell-o-vision would be great because the smell of bacon cooking. Hello. Here's a fun fact. I'm allergic to pork if it is uncured. You probably don't need to see my keyboard of my laptop. You need to really be seeing action station here. The chopper mushroom. Where did you come from? You wouldn't happen to know egg, would you, mushroom? Would you happen to know egg? Judging from Melmo OGs with your broccoli, your family is hilarious. Hi, welcome, mushroom. Poor mushroom looks horrified. I'm about to cook mushroom's family. Sorry about that, mushroom. I love you, mushroom. Oh, cheers, Grandma Ducky, and welcome. This is the first dish I made tonight, a delicious glass of South Australian red wine. We're a church block. I love it. I've always loved it. It's still a favourite. It's my sort of everyday wine. And now that I can have half a glass of wine and not have a hangover for the next month, I must say I am enjoying my little quiet wintry night red. Only when I'm cooking. I haven't had one on my own. The last time I had one was when I was live with you guys. It's your fault. Oh, this bacon smells amazing, guys. It's just cooking away. We're cutting all our little mushrooms in half. Poor mushroom. Can everyone say a little prayer for mushroom's family before I incinerate them in my wok? Oh, you've made my night, mushroom. Now I've got to watch my language. I'm sure you've heard it all before, but I don't want to... Ow! I don't want to be labelled the naughty non-auntie that corrupted you. That bacon just spat and hit me in the chins. I'm not sure which chin it was. It was my top chin, not my bottom chin. God damn it. Aggressive bacon. For those of you in Australia watching MasterChef, this live will be over in time for you to watch MasterChef. Go Bagsy, go Scotty. All right, the bacon, I probably want it to, because it's going to keep cooking for a little while with the mushrooms, but I'm probably going to give it like a minute or two more on its own just to get it a little bit crispier because I love a bit of crispy. But we're not cooking it so that it's like, you know, a super caramelized, crunchy topping. There's crunch coming later with some Panko Breadcrumbs, but I'll just give them a bit more. Rose is getting, our Father who art in heaven, mushroom be thy name. Oh, look, mushroom, I've got a little message for you. You're really a fun guy. Get it? Fungi? Fungi? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, come here for dad jokes. I got him, even though I'm not anything. I'm not a mum or a dad. Well, I'm sort of, people keep telling me I'm Sunny's mum, and I'm like, no, I'm not. She's just my roommate. All right, I'm happy with where the bacon is now. It's got a little bit of crunch on it, but it's still going to have a bit of fleshy goodness as well. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to chuck in the... Hey, I'm chucking the mushrooms in because the bacon's spitting at me. So 250 grams of mushrooms are now going in. Interesting description by Yotam. He says, saute the mushrooms until they start taking on colour, stirring occasionally. So I'm going to stir it now. Taking on colour. So check them out now, everyone. They're white. You know, they're the non-cooked mushroom. Let me show you a bit later what it looks like when they're taking on colour. It's reminding me of Schitt's Creek with Fold in the Cheese. And Another reason I like using a wok, you don't have to stir much. You just do that, right? If you want to take mushrooms, oh, the subliminal message, mushroom, it's not personal. Mushroom, I'm only killing and incinerating your family members you didn't like. Just think of it as a hot shower. Yeah, your family are having a spa. Oh, mushrooms pretend crying. I thought mushrooms laughing and then, yeah, just think of it being like a really toasty, warm sauna or bath, right? See now, guys, they're taking on colour, apparently. They've soaked up all the oil. It doesn't need any more oil. It was perfect. So the mushrooms are going to be a little bit mixed in with some bacon oil as well, bacon fat. I mean, yum, hello. But you guys know with me too, I don't like overcooked anything. I'm more Grandma Ducky. What life? You walked into a murder, mass murder. And poor little mushroom is not happy in chat. He's witnessing genocide. Well, actually, I can't do genocide because I'm not a mushroom, but he's watching his family perish. But gee, that looks good. And probably is almost as cooked as I want the mushies. I don't like things cooked to within a millimetre of their life. I believe that's taking on colour. That's my guess anyway. Now we're going to add some vino. As luck would have it, people that come to my house and drink white wine often leave some behind. And this is a bottle that was left behind, and I need 100 mils of white wine. You're not going to believe this, guys. I measured it out early because I've got some cooking wine if I got stuck. It's a tiny bit over, but it's almost 100 mils. Well, it's a bit over 100 mils exactly of wine. So, you know how I talk about my kitchen being magical? And my pantry will say you need 3 tablespoons of almonds, and I get out the almonds and there'll be 3 tablespoons. It's happened again, exactly 100 mils of wine. So that goes in. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. In go the vino. We're also going to throw in, and you can use any white wine. I don't drink white wine. It makes me really sick, but I love the flavour of it. We're going to throw in a bay leaf. This is from my sister's bay tree. Hey, Vivian, good to see you. You can keep open wine for ages. I used to think it all went off, and then I read recently that no, it's fine, and white wine is better, like apparently lasts longer than red. But I mean, you can't open a bottle and then drink it 4 months later, but it lasts a while. So yeah, beautiful bay leaf from my sister's bay tree in her garden. That's going in. Just going to focus on getting all these herbs and everything in. We also want to put in 3 thyme sprigs. Now, you guys know that I've taught you before that you can freeze herbs, a lot of herbs. Thyme has got little tiny leaves, but it's worth taking the time to just peel them off. I'll give you a demo. But these are out of the freezer, so... But you get your little sprig of thyme, right, like that, and you just run your fingers down it, and the leaves come off. If by magic. I had some lovely feedback, like truly lovely. I'm not being sarcastic. I had some great feedback on making my quiche, and I was asked to remember that beginners. Now, there's a heap of leaves that have actually come off all by themselves in the freezer, so I'm actually just going to... Oh, there's shitloads down the bottom too. That's handy to know. Here's some leaves I prepared earlier. There we go, guys. I'm just going to pop them all straight in. I'll just pop these back in the freezer. But yeah, freeze your herbs, guys. I usually grow thyme, but I don't have any at the moment. But herbs are really expensive. Don't waste them. I only put like half a dozen thyme leaves in there, and it already smells incredible. I love thyme. Beautiful herb. So we just chuck the leaves in. There might be a sprig or two in there. I'll pull it out if I see it. I'm not too fussed at the moment. There's a little spriggy bit. It's all roughage. It's all good for you. And we're also going to add, might seem a bit weird, but we're also going to throw half a teaspoon of caster sugar into the pan as well. You heard me, guys. Caster sugar. Okay, that's another trick I do. Just flip your board over. You're going to be wiping your bench and cleaning it anyway. Half a teaspoon of caster sugar. Is being measured out and going in. I've never done that before. I'll let you know if it makes a difference or what the fuck that's all about. So we've added the wine, a bay leaf, some thyme and some sugar. We're bringing it to the boil. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. Now, one of the reasons he says to do it in a saucepan is it's not a huge amount of liquid, although quite a bit of liquid does come out of the mushrooms as well. But we're going to reduce it once it's got to the boil. We're going to then reduce it down to about a third, which won't take very long in the wok. I'll give you another action shot. Thanks for popping the recipe link in, Mel. There you go, guys. It's boiling away, and I'm just keeping an eye on it. We're basically boiling down the wine to a third of the 100 mils that we've popped in. The link is also in the description for this video too, guys. I'm getting quite good at being a bit organised like that. And if you've got Yotam's book, not Simple Plenty, this recipe is on page 252. Let me get the cream. Oh, yes. Now, cream. See, this is one of the things that was pointed out to me with my quiche. I didn't mention the type of cream. So in Australia, it's called thickened cream. In the US, I think you guys might call it heavy cream or double cream. The thickest type of cream is what you'd be wanting for this. And we're going to put 150 mils of it in, so I'm going to measure that out. Smells good in my kitchen, guys. The Shxtty Kxtty Kxtchen is smelling good. It's the time, I tell you. So we've got our cream, and I'm just keeping an eye on this. This is happily boiling away. It hasn't reduced to 1/3 yet of what it was. I'll just crank that back up a bit. I was worried it was too hot, but we're just letting that reduce down a little bit. I'll show you what it looks like when it's down to a third. And then what we're going to be doing next is making another little heavy cream for your quiche. Yeah, so heavy, thickened, double, whatever the thickest. So I think in some countries the thinner cream is called pouring cream. You don't want that one. You want the chunkiest cream you can get. And while this is reducing, I'm just going to put on the element here, this saucepan. It's already got warm water in it, but this is warm and salted. Like there's water in here, it's salted. We're going to be cooking our broccolini in there in a little while. So I'm just going to get that back up to the boil. Okay, I can read chat for a while. Oh, the quiche is so good. Yes, Scout, tell everyone about the quiche. Scout was really clever. Scout did the base, which is a leek and cream base, and then put a completely different topping. Like I did it with tomato and basil. I can't remember what your topping was, Scout, but it sounded so good. And then William, who comes into my channel, he made it too, and he's put some really good suggestions and things under that video as well. Some fantastic feedback, like, you know, remember some of us are learning to cook and so on. I love broccolini too. Some countries this is known as baby broccoli. In Australia it's broccolini. Normally, like if you buy your veggies in a supermarket, you usually get like 4 little strands. This has got 4, 8, nearly 12. So it's probably like like I normally buy 2 bunches of broccolini, but now you can get them around the place in bigger bunches. But yeah, so this is the broccoli we're going to be cooking. Broccolini. Or like I said, I think in some places it's called baby broccoli. Okay, keeping an eye on the sauce. We're probably half down now. We want it to go a little bit lower. We don't want it to be super runny, but I also don't want to overcook the mushrooms. We don't want them to get too sogorama. That's why when they're still a little bit raw, that's when you start putting all the other things in there as well, because they will keep cooking. Mushrooms and spinach, that's right, yum. Hold the hell on, my family has been eating. Oh, yours is too, Mel Mel. You're the broccoli. Jeez. I'm murdering your family. Poor mushroom and now you. Gosh, I didn't even think about that. Sorry. All right, we're nearly, I reckon, we're nearly there. We've got a bit of mushroom juice. I'm pretty happy. I don't want the mushrooms to get super small and overcooked. I'll show you what they look like now. See them all there, bubbling away. The liquid has reduced. I'm going to go with that. I'm going with that, guys. I'm going to add, this is 150 mils of what Yotam calls double cream, or what I call thickened cream. That goes straight into our wok. And we're just going to give it a little stir to mix it all up. Gosh, it smells nice in here. And also, I'm going to get a little teaspoon to taste it, but we're going to season it as well. Definitely needs seasoning, but it's very delicious. So, salt from my salt pig. It's going in, and also lashings of pepper from Sergeant Peppermill. He might be getting a bit low. Hang on a sec. I'll get my barbecue one in. This one's the serious peppermill. This one does not muck around. Okay. And we're just going to mix all that seasoning through. It's looking pretty, guys. With all the thyme and everything. Look, here we go. Can you see how pretty that sauce is? The colour is more vibrant in real life than it is on the screen, unfortunately, but it is absolutely gorgeous. The pink of the bacon, the green of the thyme. It's a pretty little sauce. It's all right, mushroom. The massacre is over for now. So, we're going to take that off the stove. And you want to keep it warm, and the easiest way to do that is with a lid. And this lid belongs to a different frying pan of mine, but as luck would have it, it fits perfectly on my wok. So we'll pop that over here and keep it warm. Sauce is done. We'll get that water back up to the boil for the broccolini. Just giving my stovetop a bit of a wipe because we've been cooking bacon, so there's a bit of splatter. And we'll get on to the next element, which is a little prep work for the crumb that we're going to be cooking. You love Sergeant Pepper, isn't he gorgeous? Oh yeah, have a crack with the quiche with the phyllo, Vivian. It's delicious. And it takes out that element. You know, you don't have to do the blind baking with the short crust or anything like that. Oh, you want your plate now, Grandma Ducky? Look, it's coming. Let's get on with it. We're going to now do the a little bit of a mix to go with the crumb a bit later. So just a simple little mix of bits and pieces, starting off with the zest of 1 lemon. You all know that I love my lemon zester. And just into a little bowl. It's going to basically have some lemon zest, some garlic and some parsley in it. That's it. So you don't need a huge bowl. It's smelling good too, Scout. This is why I love my zester. Look what it does. Like, you can use microplanes and little graters and things like that. But look what my zester does. It makes little lemon curly whirlies. I love it. Oh, good on you, Scout. A fork and a glass of wine. That's all you need. No, you're not rushing me, Grandma Ducky. I'd give you the sauce right now, but I think you'd prefer to wait till the end. It's going to be birdie nom nom, I'm telling you. I don't normally do pasta. I haven't done pasta for a long time, but because I'm cooking through Yotam's book, and that's what I opened it up on, I was like, oh, great idea. Let's do pasta for dinner on a Sunday night. Yum. And the leftovers tomorrow. Who doesn't love pasta when it's a day old? Oh, my God. One day old. Oh, all the flavours have settled and... So we've zested our lemon. That's what a lemon's worth of zest looks like. Probably about a tablespoon. We're going to get our little clove of garlic and this bloody garlic press that I still haven't found a replacement for, and it's pissing me off. I used it the other night when I was cooking for Jemima. She was here and she'd watched me cooking on YouTube, and she's like, oh my God, there's that zester you don't like. Oh, not zester, garlic crusher. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't like. Well, I mean, it's the best replacement for my mum's one that I've found, but it's still got a long way to go. And it's probably not going to last in my kitchen much longer. Just because it just annoys me. It's all floppy. My mum's was just this solid bit of 2 bits of metal stuck together, and you just go goom, and all the garlic would fly out of it, and it was just sexy and gorgeous. This wobbly red thing, see, look at how it just pulled off. Like, that's not even snug. And then this red thing, you've got to maneuver the garlic clove and get it perfectly in so you can squash it down. Like, it's just, who got time for that? Faffing around with a garlic crusher. Seriously. That's what crushed garlic looks like, for anyone who's curious. Oh, you had a pet called Birdie Num Num? Yeah, from The Party. One of my favourite movies of all time, Peter Sellers. The Party. Birdie Num Num. So we're just adding the little clove of garlic to our bowl. Don't make the mistake of putting your garlic crusher in the sink. If you've got hot water in the sink, make sure you clear all the garlic out of it first. If you drop it in your sink and then go to do the dishes 20 minutes later, you're going to have... it's nicely warmed up again. You're going to have all your washing smelling and tasting like garlic. Yeah, me too. Well, no, I haven't, Vivian. My mum's was amazing, and I had it for years, and it broke last year, and life has never been the same since. Lastly, for our little herby mix, we're going to add about 3 tablespoons of chopped parsley. That's all the parsley that I happen to have, which looks like roughly 3 tablespoons worth bonus. So you want to finely chop this. Yeah, Peter Sellers, isn't he awesome? Or wasn't he awesome? One of my favourite books growing up was a book that he wrote for his daughter called Dear Victoria. His daughter was a Victoria as well, and my mum bought it for me purely because it was called Dear Victoria. I mean, she knew who Peter Sellers was and thought he was funny, but she had absolutely no idea how much that book would inspire me to go on and do stand-up comedy and all kinds of things. purely because Peter Sellers' daughter was also called Victoria, and my mum loved giving us and buying us books, and we were all and still are avid readers. So, oh guys, I'm starting a book that is written by a Tasmanian author. It's fiction, but it's like a political thriller. And so many people since the book came out said, Tori, have you read Brony? Because I think it could be based on your family, because the family's got like a politician dad, a politician son, and these two sisters. The politician's son apparently is an absolute bastard. So that's definitely, I mean, it might be based on our family, but my Will is not a bastard. He's a good guy. And I'm keen to read it and see who people think which daughter I am. But, yeah, I'll let you know how it goes. It's a book called Brony, and I'm starting to read it after MasterChef tonight. I'm digging in. I've had so many people tell me I've got to read it because it's about, I mean, even the author, I think, was asked if it was based on it, and she said it wasn't. Oh, yeah, my parents adored. Hey, Anya, you, I saw in my notifications that you'd commented under my video, and when I went to respond, it wasn't there. Like Google, not Google or YouTube, gobbles up comments. So I couldn't respond to you, but I could see something about you'd found me again, or you used to watch me or something. So, oh, and it said I got arrested. I need you to know, I don't know what your memory of that story is, but I've never been arrested in my life. I used to use that expression as a bit of a sort of sarcastic thing. I don't know whether it was a story. Yeah, I saw but no, I've never been arrested, so I don't know what I was talking about, no idea. Whether it was like something out of one of my comedy routines, I'm not sure. But, yeah, Google moderators, shocking. But good to have you here, Anya, and no, for the record, I've never been arrested, and I'd really struggle as a lawyer with that on my criminal record to get work anywhere in the world, I reckon, if I've been arrested for that. But I used to use that expression a lot. So I don't know. We'll have to chat sometime and see what your memory of it is, but it's not. Well, I've never been arrested. That's all I can say. So we've got lemon zest, garlic, and parsley. You're a goof, you believed me. I saw it and I was like, oh my God, I've got to go on there and defend my honour. But the comment, I think Google moderators swooped in, because I think, did you try to do it twice? I'm pretty sure it came up twice in my notifications. But both times it got swamped. So we just mix them up a little bit. I love these little baby whisks. You could use your fingers if you want, a little teaspoon, but there's our little mixture of goodness. So that's done. And then we were just going to get a little pan. This was one of my mum's pans, this little Le Creuset. Look how loved it is. Like, you're probably all going, oh my God, Tori, no, look how dirty it is. She obviously burnt the fuck out of something in it once upon a time. It's the most loved little pan ever, but I toast all my nuts in here, seeds, if I'm making spice mixes, all kinds of things in here. I love it. And we're just going to toast up these Panko Breadcrumbs, which are also the best breadcrumbs in the world. Don't ever use any breadcrumbs except Panko. But, yeah, what a beautiful, loved thing. And so many people would see a piece of cookware like this and go, well, that's off to the tip. No. This is the cookware you want to be cooking with. It's seasoned with so many amazing different flavours. But, yeah, I reckon at one point in time, Mum absolutely burnt the fuck out of something with it. She forgot it was on or something, don't you reckon? Probably topped up her little glass of vino in the kitchen and completely forgot. But, yeah, things that come out of this pan, they don't taste burnt. They taste amazing. And we're just going to put it onto like a medium heat. And where are my pankos that I measured out early? So, yeah, Panko Breadcrumbs are the only breadcrumbs you should ever use. They're a Japanese breadcrumb. You can sometimes find them in a supermarket aisle like where your other breadcrumbs are, but just go straight to the international cuisine aisle. Like we've got aisles in supermarkets that have you know, all the Mexican, Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, Korean, Indian, everything all in one big aisle, and you'll find your pankos in there. It's so good to see you, Anya. It was the girly boy's butt. Yeah, probably what got it zapped. Probably. We're such a good crowd here. Those jumpsuits are not very flattering. Who wears jumpsuits? Oh, your mum's pan is similar. Isn't it? Is it one of your most cherished things, Francesca? I love mine. Mel, you and being there were here. I miss her. Yeah, funny enough, Mel, right before I went live, we're chatting about beautiful Mem being there. Love an old wooden spoon. Yeah, I've got a wooden spatula that was my friend's grandmother's that I fucking love. But yeah, so panko breadcrumbs, don't even use any other kind. Wherever you do a recipe that requires them, get pankos. Now, these are going to be a sprinkle that are going to go on top of the pasta. That's where the crunchy pappardelle comes from. So pankos, just to give you an idea, I did save the packet because really, I mean, there's still a little bit of pankos left, but this is just one brand. This is Obento, but this is the sort of thing pankos look like. But yeah, go to where you'd find normal breadcrumbs in the supermarket, and you might find pankos there. But if not, go to wherever the international cuisines, like all the curry pastes and Japanese things and rice wines, all of that sort of stuff. But yum. Yum, 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 yum. Okay. So we're just going to toast the pankos in this little pan of my mum's. You don't want to burn them. Oh, speaking of ancient wooden utensils, so yeah, this wooden spatula is another thing that I cook with a lot. I love it. It's just better than spoons. It's got a split in it. It gets cooked in boiling water a lot to make sure it's all clean and good. Again, you can see it's very loved, but this does a much better job than nearly every spoon I've ever owned. So yeah. Pancho are the best. Hey, Happy Cubed, welcome. Dinner's probably going to be another half an hour at this rate. I thought I'd be done by now. It's kind of, this is a really quick thing to cook, but because we've all been chatting a lot, I can't believe I've been live for nearly an hour. That's the problem with reading chat. I mean, it's not the problem. I love it, but I end up being, you know, a bit behind. This would probably take half an hour to make if you just were in the kitchen and made it. So I'm actually cranking up the water again for the broccolini. Let's prep that up. I'll keep an eye on the pankos. This bunch of broccolini weighs exactly, of course, 250 grams. So if you picture in here, he calls this type of broccoli, he calls it tender stem or sprouting broccoli, but in Australia it's broccolini. And I'm just keeping an eye on the pankos. We don't want to burn them, but we do want to brown them. Won't take very long either, by the way, guys. So what we're going to do with the broccoli, the first thing we're going to do is just remove any leaves. I actually bought a second bunch of this stuff because I love it so much, and I'll probably make a broccoli soup this week, and I will actually keep these leaves. I'll chuck them in the bag with the other bunch and throw the leaves into the soup as well because I blitz the crap out of my soup, and the leaves are edible too and they give flavour. The pankos are coming along nicely. You can see now they're starting to brown a little bit. Keep an eye on them. You want them brown but not burnt. In fact, I reckon these are good enough to come off. Same if you're ever doing pine nuts or anything, like while I'm just whizzing this around, it's getting more and more brown. The handle's quite hot, by the way. But when you're doing like pine nuts or anything like that, once they start to brown, that's when you take them off because they get super hot. And they keep cooking, as you can see. But they're good. I'm going to actually decant them out into a bowl. Just going to stick them in this bowl so they stop cooking. But you can see they're very much browned now. Okay, so it didn't take very long at all to do them. Let's move this stuff out of the way while we do the broccolini. Sorry, I won't be reading chat for a little while. I'm getting a move on. I've got to be eaten by 7 because I want to watch Bagsy in MasterChef. So what Yotam basically says with this is remove any leaves. There weren't a lot of leaves on here. I mean, they're like this sort of size. So if you accidentally leave a couple on, just eat them. Did my burner show up as being purple? No, it's red. It's red in real life. And he basically, what we're going to do, we're cooking the stems and so we're going to cook the florally bit, but we're also going to be cooking the stems, which is delicious. And he says to do them in about 6 centimetre long pieces, which is kind of like half the broccolini. If you can, and if you've got a big chunk like that, just run the knife down and split it into 2. Okay. Same with the stem. If it's a bit too chunky for your liking, you just cut that down the middle. But I'm going to get on with doing these, so you guys all just hang out together. I'm actually doing all the stems in half. They can all be different sizes. There's one like that. There's one like that. It don't matter. Trust me, though, when I'm eating it, when I eat it for you guys, I'll be picking it out of the bowl with my fingers. I won't be trying to eat them with a fork. But rather than chuck the broccoli in with the sauce that we've already made, this gets cooked on its own. And I'm going to show you, there's a bit of action that coming up. We're going to be doing some blanching. So oh, look at you guys having a reunion. Cuteness. Happy Cubed and Scout. Loving it. What have you been up to, Happy Cubed? I don't see you much anymore. You've been around? Have you been keeping people out of mischief? What have you been doing? Mind you, I don't really go where I probably would have seen you in the past. I'm actually too busy now to watch other people. If I put someone on, I'm like, what are you doing watching them? You've got shit to do. Do your shit. And then if you've done all of your shit, then listen to their shit. All right, so I've just chopped it up pretty, it's not that consistent, but just roughly the same sort of length. Same with the stalks, but I've just cut them in half a bit. I love eating with my hands too. Yeah, mine isn't purple, Anya. It's actually red. It must just be showing up as purple on the screen. That just goes to show you how warped the colours are. So did I turn the water off? No. Yes, I did by the looks of it. While that's warming up again, I'll put the water for the pasta on and get that boiling too. Yeah, it must have just showed up purple. Ms. Nuts. I do. You've been keeping your head down and your nose clear. There are a few crap people here. Well, it's lovely to see you in here, and you'll be fine in here, as you know. You thought it was cool. I don't blame you, Anna. That would be fairly cool having a purple stovetop. Vivian, yes, I do use. I've got a Breville fast slow cooker, and I've also got an instant pot. And I do use them for soups and curries and stuff, but I don't cook live with them because, I mean, I can do a video next time I use one of them, but imagine me slow cooking and I'm like, here we go, we're making a curry, put it all in, chuck the lid on, and I'm like, let's sit here now for the next 6 hours while the little fucker cooks. Probably could have used a larger saucepan. Actually, I will. For the broccoli. Who's doing dishes tonight? Since you're all coming over for dinner. Actually, oh no, that's salted water. I'm just going to get that boiling in the bigger. You all see purple. See, well, that'll show you how the colours are so wrong. Like when I showed you the sauce, it looked really pretty to me, but it looked kind of beige for you guys. But yeah, it's definitely red. There's one on. Oh my God, I'm looking on the screen. Purple. No, I swear to God, it's red. That's how warped the colour is. That would be pretty cool, though. Actually, do you know what I'd love? I'd love it to be blue. Like high beam blue in your car. You thought you were having a groovy flashback. Well, let's not tell anyone. We need one prepared earlier. Yeah, slow cooker recipes. It's so hit and miss, Vivian. Like, I actually was chatting to Morgan M on here one night. Or it might have been when you're volunteering. Thanks, Scout. I might have been driving to work or something, but I'd made something in the slow cooker the night before, and I just found it slimy, and I'd made a couple of dishes in a row that came out like they just... And then Morgan was like, well, maybe you're not going to be a slow cooker. But things like, I could definitely do a video. Could definitely do videos because I have made some amazing curries and stuff like that. But I'd rather do a curry from scratch as well, you know. I do keep looking for slow cooker recipes, but while I'm doing Yotam, I don't think anything, unless I stumble across a recipe for a tagine in here, probably won't be a slow cooker. God, I missed my Aussie connection. I know I'm going, well, where did you go? I've been here the whole time. But I'm with you, Vivian, and yeah, I bought a couple of slow cooker books to get all excited. There's an Instant Pot channel that I watched called Six Sisters, and hey, Australian Ellis, good to see you, Groover. Please don't anyone time out Australian Ellis. He's got a wicked sense of humour. Sometimes it goes over people's heads. You slow cook dad meals in the oven these days. Yeah, I love stovetop slow cooking. I mean, it's handy. If I was doing catering for a lot of people, I'd use them for sure. I'd use it a lot more. You don't slow cook dads. When you said dad meals, I thought it was a bit like me earlier with my dad joke. I could have put the lid on this. It's almost boiling. Here. But I'm keen to try the Instant Pot. That's going to be my winter project. Oh, you got your account was hacked. Whoops, crazy. But yeah, I tend to do a lot of stuff from scratch. I do. But the girls that do the Instapot channel, I really want to cook along with them and do some stuff. So keep an eye out for that. The thing I do like about the slow cooker is putting it on in the morning and then you get home and you've got something sitting there good to go. So, I mean, I do like a bolognese. Like, I make an amazing bolognese and I can't be fucked doing it when I get home. So I'll put that on in the morning and things like that. Soups. Instant Pot is huge in America. It is. And I started watching Six Sisters before Instant Pots had even come to Australia. So... yeah, she does, Mel. I might have to get her. What I might do is get her to sort of teach me, and because I haven't used it yet. I ordered it on when they arrived in Australia last year. They did a 50% off deal for the first month that they were on Australian Amazon. And I was like, well, I'm getting one of them because my slow fast cooker is too big. I wanted a smaller one, so I got a baby Instant Pot. It's like a 5 litre or something. Right. So we've chopped up the broccoli, it's going in there, and we are literally going to cook it in this boiling salted water for no more than 2 minutes. Just going to chuck a little bit under the thing. Now, blanching normally, you get yourself a colander. And in 2 minutes' time, we're going to strain it into the colander and then throw it straight into a big bowl of cold water. And I've got cold water in a bowl sitting over here on the bench. But I'm not going to do an action shot for you for this, guys, because water and stuff is going to go everywhere, all over my laptop, everything. So just so you know, the broccolini is going to go from here to here and then into some cold water. That is what blanching is. All right, Ski. It wasn't at a rollicking boil, but trust me, the stuff is still cooking as we speak. Mob boss into Hizzle. Oh, you've got a Sri Lankan in your family. Yum. There are guys down here that have a food van that do Sri Lankan curries. Holy shit, they're good. Yeah, I've got a lot of Indian friends too. Hi, Nicole. My slow cooker is way too big. You could cook a whole ostrich in it. Can you cook a whole ostrich for us, Ruth? Lid back on the pot. There's a lot going on in this kitchen right now. Come on, mofo. I'm going to give it more than 2 minutes, only because it hasn't returned to a boil yet. I only want it to just heat up, the water to heat up a little bit more. Broccolini is expensive here too. It's way more expensive than broccoli, but it's worth it. And as you guys know, I love broccoli still really crunchy. Like most of our veggies, I like them to still be really crunchy. I don't want them to be soggy. And there's a fair bit of steam coming off the pot now, so I'm going to give it one more stir. And I'm going to blanch it, and I'll be back in a second, guys. All right, now they're going straight into the cold water, which basically stops them from cooking anymore. And then you strain them again. And I'll bring them back over to show you. So I've just put the strainer in that bowl, so any extra water that's coming out. ASMR, can you hear this? Still crunchy. So there you go, guys. Beautiful blanched broccolini with lots of crunch in it still, just the way Tori likes it. Broccoli is so good. Okay. You're talking about what? Food is expensive these days, Nicole. It's ridiculous. Yeah, who hates candles? Oh, Vivian, when I first built this house, the hot water was 2 little barbecue-sized gas bottles. I was slinging gas bottles for the first 3 years that I lived here. Originally, I thought it was kind of fun, and then it just gave me the shits. And I would always run out in the shower with shampoo in my hair in the middle of winter while it was still dark outside, freezing cold. I'd have to get out of the shower, dry myself, put on really warm clothes with wet hair, and go down and swap over. So then I went on to a 45 kilo, so much better. And this guy used to come in a truck and swap them out for me. I had 2 of them. Have a look into doing it. It costs about $600 to get the conversion in to get off the gas bottles. Like, it's worth it. Don't go to bed, Anya. Oh, I don't know what time it is where you are, but it's great to have you here. All right, we've got water boiling away over here. We're going to cook the pasta, everybody. So we've got this imported from Italy. This is the real deal. Why would I try to make this shit when I can buy it for $3, right? There is a place in town, that, like a gourmet deli, where I love to get fresh pasta from, but I wasn't going to drive all the way into town. I blanched you, Mel. You're the broccoli, not me. Candles. Oh, and by the way, Yotam mentions using ready-made pasta. He's not Puritan and saying, make your pasta now kind of thing. He's quite okay for you to use. If you can find a nice Italian pasta. I just add salt to the water, no oil. Just salt. Oops. So, we're using the whole box. It's 250 grams. So Pappardelle is this beautiful wide ribbon-like pasta. There are Australian brands that you can buy that are more commercial that would probably do the job just fine. Fresh would have been my preference, but this stuff is the shit, right? So we're going to chuck it into the pot. And here's a little box for Sunny to curl up. She loves sleeping in little boxes. So, yeah, that's on the floor for her. I'm just going to check the packaging. It says, oh, it's all in Italiano. Oh, it doesn't tell you how long. It just says, add it, stir occasionally, once cooked, drain and season. So, we'll just see how we go. I love cooking on gas as well, but the builder had already put an oven in because he was using this house, not as a spec house, but to show it to people so that he would get more contracts for neat houses. It was the first one that he built, and the oven had already gone in, and I wanted to have gas cooking. When I put my hydronic heating in, the guy put a gas line that's under the house to connect up to a gas stove when I put one in. But in the meantime, I also bought a bloody $2,000 Weber 6-burner barbecue. So I do a lot of cooking out on my deck on my Barbie. So I cook, I even bake cakes in that barbecue. That's how good it is. So I do get to cook with gas a lot out on the deck. But this little stoves are fairly basic. Like, this is the sort of stove, the brand is Chef. It's the one that you see in a lot of rental properties. You know, it's probably one of the cheaper ones. It's bloody awesome. Apart from it's hotter at the back of the oven if I'm baking something, so I have to spin things around halfway through. Other than that, it's wicked. But I am going to replace it in the next year or two and put gas in. Because I love gas cooking. Not very common here in Tassie, but when I moved to South Australia, we cooked on gas like everyone had gas. So we're just getting the pasta to cook at the moment, and while that's cooking, and I don't know how long, we're literally going to do the fling it against the tiles and see if it sticks. Just going to bring our sauce back over and warm it up a little bit. So you put it on like a medium heat. Once it starts boiling, turn it down a bit. God, that smells good, guys. Check it out. I wish you could appreciate the colour of it. Like, the cream looks beige. It's all white. The cream's white, and then there's these pops of pink with the bacon. And oh, and there's the purple. Oh no, it's gone. They heat up, and then when you lift the pots off, they fade away again. It's magic. Semolina. I made a lovely, you've got some foodie friends in Tassie. The food down here is beautiful. I made dumplings that went on top of a really gorgeous spicy bean. Like, I used 2 different types of beans, cannellini and Bellotti beans, to make this thing for Jemima when she stayed the other night because she's vegetarian. And I made dumplings that had, it sounds really weird, but I mean, it had flour, but it also had cottage cheese and it had polenta. And there were these little dumplings, sort of this size, like, it was very liquidy blobs that I put on there, but as they cooked, they all turned into like scones. Oh my God, it was so good. I do miss my visits, Vivian, but I'm working for a South Australian law firm now that's opened an office in Hobart. So guess what that means? We're going to Adelaide, not as much as I used to, but I'll be coming back to Adelaide. The firm wants me to go over and meet everyone, and I want to go over and meet everyone. So just warming up our little sauce, and while it's warming up, I'll just take that bay leaf out. Bay leaves add beautiful flavour, but you don't want to chomp on one. Oh yeah, I'm very happy now. Yes, I am. And yeah, I'll still be coming to Adelaide. In fact, my best friend, who I met when I started uni, and we've stayed friends long after I left Adelaide. She lives in Adelaide still, and it's her 50th in July. This is how cool the firm I'm working for. They're like, let us know if you've got any events coming up in Adelaide that you want to come back for, and we'll time your work trip with that. So work will cover your costs. It's like, oh, you people are lovely. Fringe festivals, heaps of fun. I did the 98 and 2000 Fringe festivals, stand-up comedy. I did 96 too. Oh no, sorry, I did 97 Festival of the Arts, and then 98 and 2000 I did Adelaide Fringe shows. I did a solo show in 98 called Electronic Bonk, and I did a double show in 2000 called Chocolate Teapot, but Chocolate Teapot opened the day after my mum was buried, and I had to do 2 shows a night for 3 weeks, and we got 1.5 stars. So the girl that I did it with, I'm like, fuck, we're only worth 3/4 of a star each. I've got no idea now. I look back on that, and I've got no idea how I managed to do that. Been back in Tassie for my mum's funeral, and the next day I started a 3-week season of a show in Adelaide Fringe, 2 shows a night. Crazy. Couldn't do it now, don't reckon. Could not do it now. Sometimes I do things I've surprised myself. I look back on it and go, Tori, you're actually quite cool then. I think we all need to remember times we do things and we go, that was actually cool. You were cool. There is a time in your life you did something cool, and that was it. Just turning the heat up a tiny bit on the sauce. I wish you could see how beautiful this sauce is. It's so pretty. The green thyme leaves and the pink bacon. Oh, my God, it's so pretty. Iced coffee keeps me alive. I will let you know, Vivian, for sure. You can't remember what year you went to. I kept going to the Fringes long after I stopped doing. I was in a lot of shows with a heap of other comedians. In fact, my sister. No, I should focus on the cooking. My sister found a program that I might have sent her in the mail of a show that I did at the Adelaide Festival Theatre with people like Adam Hills and Limo and Justin Hamilton, before they all kind of became well known. All of us were in this little group of Adelaide comedians, and we did this show at the Adelaide Festival Centre, and we all look so young. I'll see if I can find it. It was heaps of fun too. Had an absolute ball. But yeah, it was before any of them were, you know, full-time comedians. It's grey on it. Grey, don't say that, Anya. It's so pretty. It's creamy and it looks like a Laura Ashley curtain. All right, so there's a bit of bubble happening. So what we're going to do is chuck all the broccolini in the sauce as well. So we're going to heat the broccolini through, but it won't get soggy. It's going to retain its crunch. And let's not muck around. It's much easier to cover this in tongs with the tongs. Can't believe, well, I hope it doesn't look grey now. I hope the broccolini's given it a bit of life and colour. Can you see that, guys? Can you see that? It still looks grey. Don't you dare say that. It's the mushrooms. I want to eat a mushroom. I'm so hungry. And some bacon. Quality control. No, it's funny. I know it's hilarious. Oh, God, this bacon's brilliant. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So we've chucked the broccoli in. That's awesome. I never cooked pappardelle. I don't know if it's ready. Let's see. The only way I know how to test if pasta is cooked. Oh, that's a long slither. Hang on. We want it al dente. Yeah, fling it up, and if it sticks on the tile, Huh. They're not sticky. Now I've got to clean my friggin' tiles again. I did them before we went live. I mean, they were clean anyway, but I always think make sure there's no marks on them, so some cunning little person will be like, oh my God, there's a spot on her tile. God forbid. And I'm just popping that down on a low temperature because we don't want things to go nuts. We just want to warm it up. It's quite a runny sauce. I probably didn't reduce it enough, but it won't matter. This is going to taste so friggin' good. So friggin' good. The pasta, I should have tasted that piece. Hang on. It's over here on my chopping board. Still a bit chewy, not quite al dente. Yep, throw it. Vivian, I just saw a chat move, but someone else was saying throw it on the wall if it sticks. It's a tried, true, and tested way to know if your pasta's cooked. I forgot I had wine and it's delicious. I just want to sit here and eat all the bacon. But yeah, we're just going to wait for the pasta. Now, if you'd reduced your sauce more than I have, and it was looking a little bit, I mean, it wouldn't look dry, but if you sort of just had the mushrooms, the bacon, and the broccoli and not much more going on, what you can do is save a bit of we're going to drain the pasta, but you can save a bit of the water the pasta's boiled in. Like get a measuring cup or whatever and scoop a bit out and keep it to one side, strain the pasta off, and then you can add that little container of water, whatever, to your pasta sauce if it's looking a bit dry. But we've actually got so much sauce, it's going to cover everything. I'm telling everyone that burners in Australia purple, go for it. And tell them about drop bears as well while you're at it. No, we're not drinking Tassie. We're drinking South Australian, Vivian. This wine became one of my favourites very early on in living in Adelaide, and I still love it to this day. But yes, I'm enjoying a wine that I always enjoy. I love Wirrawirra Church Block from McLaren Vale. I love it so much. So much. A 2018, it's delightful. It's a fairly young one. It's only 3 years old, but it is delightful. So yeah. Oh, Tassie gin. You should see this gin that my sister gave me. I've still got some. This gin, I did it on a live one day. So see in the bottle how blue it is. This is a gorgeous distillery in Tassie called McHenry. But this butterfly gin, it goes in the glass blue, and then when you add the tonic water or soda water, whatever you're adding, it turns a little bit purple, and then it goes like bright pink. It's beautiful. It's magic gin. It's gin that has a theatrical... It's like a Heston Blumenthal gin. But it's crazy expensive. That little tiny bottle was like $50. But it was worth it for the magic. I think Sunny's in the process of divorcing me right now. I don't know where she is. Where's my mug? I think she's out in the enclosure watching for possums, like her sister Biscuit used to. Come on, the Pappardelle. Shouldn't do that. Italians are like, oh fuck, there's another Australian wanker doing a stupid Italian accent. My little Italian lover, he sounded exactly the same though. He didn't teach me the right way to do it because that's exactly how he did it too. All right, we're flicking it on the wall. Yes! Look, guys. Any smears on those tiles? It's actually, my God, my camera lens is filthy. I've just noticed that when I moved it, I thought if there's any smears on the wall, it's from pasta. So the pasta has stuck to the wall, which means it's time to strain it. Let's go, groovers. Oh, look. Oh, the purple element's already gone off. Sorry. No more theatre for you. Okay. I'm just straining and I'm jiggling the strainer to get as much water. Do not rinse your pasta under hot water, ever. No, 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 no. Rinse rice, yes. Pasta, nay. Give it a good wackadoo, and I'm going to strain it a second time. And give it another shake. And I'm actually putting it into the saucepan that it cooked in. And back on the element for a second because the heat of the element and the pan just dries it off a little bit too. It's just how I do my pasta. Carrie Pink, hello. Thank you for all of your lovely cooking. The pasta wall flicking. I wonder who invented that. So yeah, I like to just chuck the pasta really briefly back on the element. The element's off, but just the heat from the element and the heat in the pot, it just takes some of that extra liquid off. And then we are going to add the pasta to our pan, to the crema sauce with the broccolini, bacon and mushrooms, wine, bay leaves and thyme, salt and pepper. It is a little bit runny, guys. That's my fault. I didn't reduce it. But because my pasta is properly cooked and dried, not rinsed, the sauce is going to stick to it. So don't cry for my pasta. Getting the last bit out. Looks good, guys. This is one giant wok of beautiful goodness. I'm going to give it a little bit of a toast, a little bit of a toss. And mix it through. While I'm doing the mixing, remember this little mix we made, the parsley, the lemon and the garlic? Using half of it, we're going to add that to the pasta as well. So half of that quantity that we made is going to go in the wok as well. The pasta's happily soaking up the sauce. We're going to toss all of that through. Well, it's toast. It's not toast. It's soaking up all of the sauce. It's soaking up some of it. Just giving it a good old mess. This is the time, if your sauce was a bit dry, that you'd chuck that extra bit of water into, like the leftover water from when you cook the pasta. But there's no dryness here, girls. This pasta is moist. It's moist, moist, moist. So I'm now going to serve this up. It's 5 to 7, which means I've got half an hour to eat dinner and clean up the kitchen before MasterChef starts. Okay, I'm going to try to plate this up and make it pretty. I'm really bad at plating up, guys, so do not judge. What I do, though, is I put a little bit of pasta in the bowl, then get some of that yummy, mushroomy, bacony goodness happening. It's almost like, I'm not trying to make a pasta sandwich, but think of it like a sandwich. Then we get another big thing of pasta and, well, that wasn't very big. Told you guys I'm not good at plating up. A bit more pasta on top. Now there's a shitload of pasta. And more of the bacon and mushroom creamy goodness. Also, tongs, you can actually use tongs like a little spoon. Did you know that? To get a bit of extra sauce happening, do that. Drizzle some more of the sauce over. Sorry, I'm not doing close-ups every 5 seconds. I want it to be hot and delicious when I eat it. All right, a bit of sauce. Look at that, guys. Look at that. But if you think that looks grey still, I don't know what to tell you. Had you forgotten about the panko breadcrumbs? No. Good. So you add the remainder of this garlic, parsley, and lemon to the pankos. Still got my whisk here. Give that a little bit of a mixy. And then here is our pasta. Sprinkle the crunchy. This is where the crunchy pappardelle comes from. But sprinkle over. Now, that amount that we've made is for 4 servings, so you don't use all of it, but hell, I'm using a bit more. And even though Yotam didn't say to, I love Parmesan, so fuck a doodle do. I'm putting Parmy on as well. Tell me that is not food porn. I wish I could get the colour. Can you, is that better? Now I've got more lights on. Can you see that? 4 servings your ass? What do you mean? This is actually twice what I'd eat too. I wouldn't normally eat this much. This is huge for me. But I'm going to do a taste test. Shit, I've got to get, hang on. You should see my kitchen. It is a chaos. It's chaos. How can I get it? Bear with me, groovers. All right. Okay. So, it is a Yotam Ottolenghi, what he calls a crunchy pappardelle. Now, his recipe was just with mushrooms and broccolini. I chucked in bacon too. It's got that beautiful mix of lemon, garlic, and parsley. There's white wine, there's bay leaves, there's thyme, and mushrooms. Did I mention them? I feel like I'm missing something out. Oh, the panko breadcrumbs. Chefs make massive messes. That's why cooking is fun. Some of my friends are like, oh, I just don't like cooking. It's like, just look at it as an opportunity to make a lot of mess. Because making mess is fun. Okay, apologies for my tear-stained face. I didn't have time to put on makeup or anything before I went live. Got a bit teary today talking about my beautiful friend Birdie who died in February. But I'm going to do a little taste test for you. I'll be logging off pretty quickly, guys, because you don't want to watch me eat pasta. Trust me. Holy shit. Here we go. Damn you, now the man is up for the day. Oh, shit. Yeah, you can sleep when you're dead. Okay. I just want to eat a piece of broccolini too before I give a review. Okay. That is disgusting, and I will never cook that shit again. Who do you think you are, yotamottolenghi, putting crap like that in your book? Fuck me dead. I've forgotten why I stopped eating pasta. Probably because whatever pasta I ate the last time I ate pasta was nowhere near as good as this. Holy fuck balls. Oh my God. Okay. This gets 500 out of 10, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm never, ever going to make pasta again without doing that crunchy panko breadcrumb thing on top with the lemon and the garlic, the raw garlic and the parsley. Holy shit, that's good. I'm pissing down with rain, by the way. Perfect wintry food too, hearty and heartwarming and divine. I did add Parmesan, but you wouldn't need to because the flavour in that panko crumb mix and also the fact that it's through the sauce, not the pankos, but the other bits. The white wine, the bay leaf, and the thyme give it like a really beautiful roasty. Like It tastes like you've cooked roast lamb for dinner or something. Like, it's not the lamb flavour, but you know that beautiful sort of rich herby aroma you get when you're roasting meat or chicken or whatever. It's really, really hearty. I didn't reduce the sauce enough, so it doesn't have huge lumpy bits of creamy sauce in it, but I'm actually glad it doesn't. The cream is adding a nice bit of flavour, but it's not overbearing. It's really good, guys. I swear to God, this is so good. Was I convincing? Did you guys think I didn't like it? It's beautiful. And I never do pappardelle. Back in the day when I did do pasta, pappardelle never featured. But these ribbons, they just get coated in the sauce and the herbs and the bacon. I actually prefer it to fettuccine because it's thinner. See the pappardelle? It's thinner than fettuccine. It's really light. Okay. I was going to count to 500 using tens. I'm like, don't do that. That's stupid. And why even do that? That is amazing. It is so delicious. I am so glad that I've got this much leftovers too. I would happily eat this for lunch every day or dinner for the next 4 days in a row. It would not bother me at all. I've still got heaps of this beautiful topping. So what you would do with the leftover the panko crumb herb mix and everything, just pop that. You can just put some Glad wrap over this or put it in a little airtight container. Don't pop it in the fridge. Just keep it out on your bench. That'll be fine for a few days. So every time you reheat the pasta, put the crunchy stuff on top. It is so good, guys. Honestly, the recipe, there's a link in my description. Somebody mentioned rose harissa scout, I think, right at the start. This recipe didn't feature rose harissa, so maybe the blogger has added something so they can kind of put a yotamottolenghi recipe up without getting into trouble for copyright breaches. That is seriously so good, and I really want to keep eating it while it's hot. I would not normally eat a bowl of pasta this big at dinner time. That was a little bit of so I will be taking half of it out and packing half of it up for tomorrow. I'd eat half of that serving. But guys, it is absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, the pasta's soaked up. It's the really predominant flavors. It's that herby. Well, there's kind of the French white wine, mushroom, bacon, thyme element to it. That kind of wintry, roasty flavors, and then you've got these pops of really sharp citrus and raw garlic and parsley, and then the crunch of the panko. It's a winner. I swear to God, winner pasta dinner. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Cheers to you all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And, yep, I'd definitely give this a go. If you cook pasta and eat pasta, have a go and tell me what you think about it under my video. I love you, groovers. I want to eat this while it's still hot. We'll talk again very soon. Bye. Bon appetit.